Welcome back to If Civilization Reset, Episode 5. I'm deeply sorry for the long wait in the videos I had. It's just because it's the holidays for me, I'm kind of slacking off stuff going on. But let's just get into it. We're gonna start off in Chaville, the Chavillan Union. Now something happens. A ethnically Peblazorian terrorist group attacks. And it's, of course, in the Polynesian region because that was jointly established. So, first of all, we see them appearing, and and they start expanding rapidly. And then eventually Chaville does react. They send their troops in, and it does work. But they try to fight back a bit. And what Chaville does, they just goes on and on. Then eventually we have Peblazoria itself interfering in the war. Get some troops here. But then this leads to a third Simvardan war. Yep, we're having a third one. Immediately we see the Rajana and Nifro. Yes, I called Purple Nation Nifro. Nifro. So they immediately start sending in their troops. Nifro troops here, and then we get the Rajanan troops there. But you know who else wants to join this war? Yep, we have a third party war. We have a third party. Alright, so they start trying to attack the Nifro-Janan alliance. They do some progress, but then they tried to do a little skirmish towards Python, the capital, maybe even Bicom as well. But then they're stopped, and they get pushed back by Purple, by Nifro and Rajana. So yeah, but that means they have to pull some troops out of the blue. They have to pull some troops out of the blue nation, Peblazoria, which allows them to take back some lands. And since now Peblazoria can't send that much troops down, that makes the terrorist group more active. So that's not alright. So they take back some of their lands, and yeah, kinda the Chaville can't necessarily do stuff about it. So some nations like the other pink nation, what was it again?
I called it Mavriches. The capital is Beloski.
So yeah, they decide to start funding Chaville, so does Cinderella and Kiptoria, I'll call it. Yeah, we will have some of these. That orange, maybe. Okay. So some with the arrival of more troops, that means more. That means more pushback, and yeah, that's good. So, like that. So we get so back into Simvada. All right, so Rojana and Nifro shift their focus here. They started sending more of their troops, and then they make the the Grey Nation go all the way back, and yes, from there they just die. All right, they continue. So back up in Simvada, they continue fighting, but then it's kind of like a stalemate. They push, but then they get pushed back. They continuously push. No, it, they push again, and then push back. So yeah, and then they decide it's time for a peace treaty. So in the Treaty of Bicol, it is set over here. We have this gray. We have the Grey Nation getting just split partitioned again. They can't catch a break. But for the third time in history, they get they exist again. So this is they are relocated where they were first from. Also, yeah, I think it's like yeah. And going into the Chavillan Union, there is no terrorists. The terrorists, they get punished. They're just gone, and yeah, nothing happens with the Chaville in terms. Not much. Just they're safe now. And now we will look to Mifridigadi something. So let's just edit so let's say Nifro, after getting all that land Grey from the Grey Nation, they decide, you know what? Let's just expand a bit. So they do that, and yeah, that's they have a nice haircut thing at the north of their border. They also decide to take this island. No. Alright, now back to Mafridigus, that is what it was called. Remember how on island of Chagubad we had a rebellion? Fortunately, there's another one, but it's for the north. It's for the North Chagubad. So we got the North Chagubad is what I'll call it. There's a rebellion from this city, and now it's like they're like, hey, we now own all this stuff. Get out. This is our land now. You're not yours. So they're basically trying to kick out Mithridates from Chagubet, but for some reason they still have to hold on to Port Chibsy. All right, so they start some more advances, and they eventually take out the whole area. They try to make their way onto the onto the mainland, Mithridates, but they're close to the capital and they are alarmed. So you know what that means. Fight! The Mithridates troops do not let this slide. They take this land back. Yeah. They make their landing here and stuff in there. And they start trying to retake the lands. Eventually, they get involved, and also there's miniature fighting here in Port Chisby. They start trying to take back their land, but then there's a pushback, and then again we get that happens, and then we just have North Chargubat already getting decimated. That's it. Now let's look at the peace treaty.
That was already a peace treaty of Pulaski with the first rebellion, okay? In Jagaban.
Well, in this peace treaty of Boloski again, we have a split. This North Chargubad being split with regular Chargubad and Mithridates. So the capital area goes to normal Chargubad, and Mithridates finally gets full control over Port Chibsy. It could be either. You could say how you want to. Well, while over in here, we get a formation of a new country, which because there's a desert around these areas. Yeah, we have a desert nation. We'll make this one line. It breaks off the north of Botswana and Namibia. Because come on, that looked like Botswana. Botswana has blue on its flag. Its name begins with a B, so it's that makes sense. See what I'm on about? But and also we got Botswana. Looks like Botswana, and yeah, it might have pink on its flag. So and it can match the first letter of its name. See, but it's more magenta stuff. Alright, so this is what the nation looks like. And yes. Alright, and this land will go to Manibia. Now from here we see the fall of Manibia, sadly. It existed just for one episode, but sorry for killing you off. Come on, So we start off with the new Desert Lime Nation, starts finishing off the remainder of Manibia. And eventually, so we get Botswana. Botswana gets into it, and yeah, now Manibia is gone. Manibia actually just splits off into three. We get this Chile-looking thing. We get these two people down, these two nations down here, and yeah, because Desert Nation didn't necessarily want the land. Now, give since Botswana lost this stuff, they won't get it back, and they aren't getting it back. They decide to take the land down here and make it part of them. Their neighbor, and Origin decides to follow up with their idea and take the same land. Yeah. And that is it for episode 5. If you liked it, it's pretty epic. And now, Jackflix